Hey friends, it's Ashley and today I am back with a new video for Citrus Twist Kits, and I'm using some of the cut files for this layout, a little bit of the digital papers, and the flea market findings kit that's available in the shop. So I'm going to get started here, and I'm doing a full-size photo on the right hand side of my layout, and I'm just going to trim that out real quick. I went ahead and sized that in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to go ahead and cut both of those down. I have the big photo, and I also have a small photo of the logo. This is Crumble Cookies. We just had one open near us, and so we have been several times already to this point. This photo is actually from our first time, and so I snapped a picture of the cookies in our box and of the logo on the wall in the store. And I want to use both of these on the right hand side, and on the left side I'm going to do the cut file. And I really liked the circles for this cut file because it kind of mimicked the look of the cookies, and so I wanted to use that, and I cut it from a wood grain paper. And before I get started on placing everything, I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes in my pages, and I just used my 6-hole punch. Those are usually available on Amazon if you don't have one of those and want to pick it up. I needed to trim a little bit more off of my photo just to have the two sides line up, so I just did that really quick. And now I'm going to go ahead and start getting the cut file in place. And this cut file leaves about 1/2 inch on that right hand side of that page. So I'm going to go ahead and get it laid down, and I'm just going to start at the top of the cut file with some glue, and I'm going to get it in place, and then I'm going to kind of work my way down with the adhesive. And I'm not going to put adhesive behind all of these circles because once I get kind of the main areas glued down, it will stay in place, and I didn't want to have to go through and just do like glue behind every one of the circles. So this gets it in place, and once I finish and I have that little extra space, I am going to add some pattern paper to cover up that other 1/2 inch there on the right hand side. And I went ahead and punched the holes, but I'm going to go and use my 1-hole punch to finish that once I add this piece of paper here. The pattern papers that come in physical form are sized to 6x8, so it's a little bit shorter than what I needed because I did this, I did my paper at 5 1/8 by 1/4. So once I got that cut, I have a little teeny space, just a like 1/4 of a space there at the bottom. So I'm going to use one little extra spare piece right here to fill that in, and I just kind of lined it up so it would look seamless and you couldn't really tell that it was pieced together. If you're using the digitals, you can make it a little bit bigger if you need to, but the ones that come with the kit are sized to 6x8, and I think that's because they are sized to fit tall wise in the page protectors. But most of the time I work outside the page protectors, so I do need that little bit of extra length on those. So now I have my cut file in place, and I wanted to go ahead and get that little photo in the center of the bigger photo, and I wanted to use one of these cute chipboard frames, and this one says the sweetest memory, so I thought that would work well with the cookie theme that I had. And so I just placed my photo behind it, and it still has the sticky back, so I just line it up here, and I try to get it even because I can never get anything even. I think me and straight lines do not get along well, so I kind of fuss with it for a second just to get it where I want it. And once I have that in place, I had also cut this title. It says currently enjoying, and it's part of one of the cut files also. And I will leave links to all of the products that I use from the Citrus Twist shop in the description box below. But I did downsize this cut file a little bit, so it made some of the letters really, really thin, and I did not want to try to put adhesive because they are super thin. So I decided to run it through my sticker maker, and it still is kind of challenging to get it on, but I'm glad I did the sticker maker because it does make it a little easier to get coverage on the whole back side. So I'm just working on getting that off of the backing paper and trying not to rip any of those letters because they are very, very fine and intricate. If you use it at the size it is, you wouldn't have this problem because it is made to be a little bit bigger, but I needed it smaller to go here on the layout for my title. So now I'm going to start getting it in place, and I'm just going to work my way across. I got it lined up on the end where I wanted it, and then I'm just going to kind of lay it down as I go. And like I said, just being really careful and kind of the adhesive on your sticker maker kind of lets you kind of shift things around if you need to. It doesn't really stick like right away to where it's permanent and you can't slide things around. So that made it easier for me to be able to get that the way that I wanted it lined up. So now I'm going to work with these circles, and this is actually one of the digital papers, and I kind of altered it in Adobe Illustrator. They're more, on the pattern paper, they are more of a kind of oblong oval shape. I took the insides out and put them into circles and kind of used my color sampler to fill in the colors of the circles with that color that's on the wording. And then I was able to put those in my Silhouette Studio and cut around the circles with that. So it made it a lot easier. And then they fit right inside the cut file. So I went ahead and put pop dots on all of those off camera to give them some dimension and got that finished up. And I wanted to add some black just because I always like to add some black. It gives a nice contrast on your layouts. And I had these little foam numbers, letters. These little alphas are usually available in the store for individual sale. And I wanted to just kind of number the cookies and just to have that kind of extra texture from the foam numbers. I thought they were really cute and they kind of fit perfectly there with the cookies. And I debated against doing white numbers or black numbers because I do have one of the dark cookies here that my 5 goes on and it kind of covers it up, but I also had a white one here that the white would have not shown up, so I just decided to go with the black because my frame is black, and I do add some black on the other side of the layout too. So now I'm going to use one of the stamp sets, and I do not remember off of the top of my head what the name of this stamp set is, but it's all about food. It has all kind of fun little food icons and sayings and phrases, and I will definitely link that in the description box if it's available in the store. But I wanted to do some stamping, and the circle shapes worked perfectly for my layout since I already had the circle cut file and the circle cookies. So I just stamped the one that says "This is my reason why" on the left hand side in one of those circles, and I wanted to do another one to go on the opposite side of the layout. So this one I'm going to stamp on the pattern paper that I actually used for that 1/2 inch strip on the left side, and I'm just going to stamp in black just to have some color behind it, but also have the same black ink on both sides of the layout. And I grabbed 2 of my punches because I wasn't sure what size I wanted to punch this out at. I thought about my 2-inch punch, but it was way too big, and so the 1.5 inch punch worked perfect for this. It punched it right out where I wanted it to. So once I have that punched, I'm going to add some pop dots behind it too to get some of that height on the right hand side like I did on the left hand side. And sometimes I like to use pop dots on my traveler's notebook layouts, and sometimes I like to keep everything flat. It just depends. On this one, I felt like having some pop dots and having that dimension would be fun, just to add some interest to the layout. So once I got that one in place, I wanted to start embellishing, and I just had to use that cute little smiley face that was in with the chipboard frames. So I added him to the center of one of the circles because he's just too cute, and I wanted a pop of yellow because I love yellow. It's my favorite color. Now I'm going to use some of the puffy stickers. These are under the exclusives, I think, and I will link these too if they are in the shop. But I'm going to add those across both pages here. So I'm just trying to figure out right now like which colors I want to use and where I want to put them. And on this side, I didn't place those right in the center of the circles because I'm going to use some stickers also. So I wanted these 2 to be up a little bit higher because I wanted some other embellishments in those circles other than just the hearts by themselves. So I'm looking for one last one to add here to that other small circle, trying to decide what color, and I went with the teal to add to that smaller circle to finish it off. And now I'm going to do the stickers, and I wanted to add these below the hearts just to have something different going on in the circle. And I used 2. The first one I do is Dreamy that I add under the wood grain heart, and the second one that I pick actually says chocolate, which goes along well with the theme of my layout since it's all about the cookies, and we do have some chocolate chip cookies there. So I get both of those added. And off screen, I do go back and I use my tiny attacher to add a staple to both of those just to give it some extra texture. And I was looking for one to add under the currently enjoying, and there was actually one that said time to indulge. And this one was a spelling mistake, but they did add the corrected stickers in the package, so I just added that one. And I'm going to finish off here just by stamping my date. I do add a couple of more embellishments off screen in my journaling, which you will see in the pictures at the end. If you enjoyed my video today, please leave a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to become a new subscriber. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.